Hello guys, welcome back to a new tutorial. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to do this really cool grunge style kind of Twitter header, and yeah, so you can see it's kind of going for kind of spooky kind of theme, and yeah, you can see it's quite a lot of grunge and lighting and all that kind of stuff. That really makes this header look really cool, and you might recognize this kind of header from I used to do these a lot in my streams whenever I used to do giveaways, and I used to do this kind of style of header a lot. So yeah, I'm going to show you guys how to do it. So first off, we're going to go to File, New, and these are going to be the dimensions for our Twitter header. And yeah, so these will be fine. Obviously, you'll be having different dimensions if you're designing something different. And okay, so you'll start off with a white canvas, and what we're going to do is we're going to make it black. So just make sure our foreground color is black, and then we can press Alt Backspace, and then we can just make we can make our foreground color our canvas color. And now what we're going to do is we're going to make a new layer just by going into this corner right here, and we're going to make this a kind of a blue banner, because you can see this one's green, so maybe a blue will look a bit better. So okay, so to do that we're just going to go to our brush tool, which is right here, and then we're going to go to our foreground color, and now we can just pick the kind of blue that we're after. We don't want it to be like too blue like this, because then I don't know, they just don't work very well, just doesn't look very nice. So you kind of want like a kind of a lighter version of the color you want. So kind of go for kind of like this. If you want a blue, this will work well for you. And okay, and then we're just going to right click on our canvas, and that'll allow us to select our brushes and some settings for our brushes as well. So size doesn't really matter, we're going to be changing that anyway, and then the hardness must be 0%. So you can see we got our brush right here, and we can use our square bracket keys, and we can make the brush a lot bigger and a lot smaller just by using those. And we're just going to put one brush in each corner. We're just going to click once in each corner. Okay, so that should be good, and we kind of want them to be equal, and there we go, it looks really cool. And now we've got these cool glowing lights from each side of our banner. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go to Filter, Blur, and then Gaussian Blur. And what this does is it spreads the blur out further, but then it also makes it less intense in the center. So you can see how it gets a bit darker once you add the blur, but then it also spreads out a lot more. So you would really need to blur it quite a lot. So maybe, I think for this one about 175 or something around that area will be really good. And so yeah, once you've done that, you just press OK, and then we're going to make a new layer just by pressing this icon in the bottom right. And then we're just going to, now with this layer, we're going to add a light to the middle, and to do that we're going to make our brush a lot smaller, and I'm just going to click once in the middle, and there we go. And we're also going to lower the opacity of our corner lights just like that, and then we're going to add the same blur to our middle light. It doesn't have to be the same blur actually, maybe you want it a bit brighter than the corner ones, just because it's going to be shining down on your main focus, and yeah, you don't really want to mess with that. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go to Google, and you can see that you got all these grunge stocks right here. And to get these, all you need to do is type in grunge PNG, and so yeah, when you add PNG to the end of a word in Google, what it does is it gives you versions with a transparent background, and that's what we're looking for. And yeah, so you can pick whatever suits your liking, and I think we're going to go with this one. So you just go to view image, and then you can just download it. You guys all know how to download images from Google, and then you can just drag it in just like that. And we do want it to be white, because we're going to be setting them to overlay, and if you just set them to overlay now, then it doesn't actually make a difference. So we need to make them white. So to do that, we just want to double click on it to open up blending options, go to color overlay, and then make sure this is set to a white, and then just press OK. And now we've done that, we just want to right click on our layer of the grunge, and then press rasterize layer style, and there we go, this is now a white layer. And then when we go to change the blending option to overlay, you can see it kind of comes out onto the light, and we're going to make it a bit bigger. There we go, just like that. And then we're just going to drag it over, and holding Alt as we drag, just so it duplicates it at the same time as we're moving it. So we kind of want to fill our whole canvas using these grunge stocks, and so you just want to make sure they cover the whole area where you want them to cover. Okay, you might want to add a few more just to make them more apparent as well, so maybe you want them to overlap, that'll look kind of cool as well. Okay, now we've done that, I think I want this this blur in the middle to, well, this light to kind of expand over more areas. You can see we've got a lot of dark area over here. We don't really want that, so we might want to make it a bit bigger just by holding Command T once we got our light selected, and then we just drag it out, and then you can move it, make sure it's still center. If you want to make sure it's 100% center, you can just unlock your background layer and then press Command T, and then just drag your ruler to the middle to where you see this like little icon in the middle. If you don't have your rulers on the side, you just press Command R, and then that's to show them. And if you want to hide your the rulers that you put in your canvas, just press Command and then semicolon, and then yeah, you'll be able to change it that way. And so now we've done that, and now we're going to add our text. So we're just going to add ordinary text. We just put text. The font that we're going to be using is called Overdrive Sunset, and then just make sure it's all centered, just like that. You could make it a blue and then just make sure it's below all your other layers, or you could just put it to your top and then make it white like this, and then just set the blending option to overlay, and there we go. That looks really cool as well. If you do want to make it a bit more apparent, because maybe you have a bit of a darker header, you can just duplicate your text, and there you go. You can see it comes out a lot brighter, and it looks really cool that way as well. And now we can add a drop shadow, and this is where our text looks really nice. So you just want to click on your lower text, just double click like that, then go to drop shadow, and it might be pretty hard for you to see, but I'm going to make it a bit easier for you once my computer stops lagging real quick. There we go. Alright, so just go to our drop shadow again and just increase the opacity, and there we go. You can see that our drop shadow is really starting to make the text come out, and it looks really nice. You can copy down these digits as well, but if you're using different dimensions and your text is a different size, then these digits may look a bit different. So just kind of go based on what you see. Make sure your distance should always be 0, because if you increase the distance, you can see it kind of makes it go as if there's literally a light shining on it, but there isn't. So we want it to be just 0, and then we can mess around with the distance and the spread. And yeah, that looks really cool as well. So that is literally all there is to this grunge kind of style header. But like you can see in this example, we have got gameplay in the background, and you might like that to just kind of personalize it even more. So to do that, you can just download your picture from Google, and so now you can just drag it in. So let me just find the one I have. So we just get this one, the same one I had in the example, and just drag it out. I don't want this Call of Duty thing to be this Call of Duty text to be showing, so I might just drag it out just so it isn't viewable in the header. And now we can just drag it below all of our, well no, we just want to drag it below our text, and then we can change the blending option to luminosity, and then just lower the opacity right down, and then we can just use the eraser tool and just erase the edges just like that. And there you can see that we have our gameplay in the background. Another way of making it look really cool is just by pressing normal, and then just, oh no, not pressing normal, changing it to overlay instead, and that can look really cool. And then you lower the opacity as well, and that looks really nice as well. And now we can add some color correction. So the first thing we're going to add is brightness and contrast. So let's just increase the brightness a little bit, and then we'll also increase the contrast. Okay, that looks really nice. You just want to balance it out, seeing what looks good for your header. Maybe decrease the brightness a bit. Okay, so now we're going to add some curves. So we're just going to click on this icon up here. If you don't have this adjustments tab open, just go to window and adjustments, and it'll be right there, and then it'll open here. And now let's just mess around with this. Might just do a regular S shape. They always look good. Okay, that looks nice. And now we can add some exposure and just increase it a little bit, and then increase the gamma. Actually no, we'll leave that, I think, probably around the same. And yeah, okay, that looks really nice. And that's basically how you do a grunge themed Twitter header. It looks really cool, and if you do use this technique, don't forget to tweet them at me, so I'd like to see your creations. So yeah, thank you guys for watching the video. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next one.